I've wanted to build a very specific website animation with AI for a long time. It's a fully animated portfolio site built on a split screen layout where two halves always move in opposite directions. It starts with a cinematic push and pull animation, and then the homepage reveals where you can vertically scroll through different projects. And when you click a project, it elegantly opens into a full project page where you can scroll through the different pages. And the whole site is built with Claude Code using Opus 4.8, and I went straight from a Figma sketch into Claude Code without writing a single line of code myself. In this video I show you exactly how I created it, going from concept to fully animated site, and make sure to stick around to the end as I prepared a small free gift for you. So before I start with the actual build, I wanted to briefly say thank you for all the support. I've been making videos for 6 months now, and the last 3 weeks things really took off, and a couple of days ago I crossed 1,000 subscribers and I received so many kind messages. I couldn't be happier with it, so thank you very much for that, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. So for the concept of the website, I envisioned a so-called split screen design. And this means that the width of the website is divided into two equal halves, like the design you're seeing here. It's a more unusual layout to begin with, which makes it unique and visually interesting, but mostly it unlocks the one thing that I wanted to become the signature style for this design, the push and pull animation, where you can animate the left side in the opposite direction of the right side. For the homepage you can scroll through the projects, and because I wanted to keep that signature style I just spoke of, I wanted the right half to scroll in the opposite direction of the left half, but the project titles should still end up matching the thumbnails. Then I created these 3 project pages showing different images of the work, and I wanted this to feel like a luxurious presentation with the focus on the images, all designed in that same split screen style. And then for the menu, I wanted this to stay consistent as well, so I designed it to cover only the right half of the site like I designed in the image here. So now that the concept is clear, let me show you how I made the visuals. For the visuals I used my own free-to-use website Playfield.com. Here you can find a selection of images and prompts, and everything on this website is free for you to use, so feel free to check it out and use it for your next projects. Once I found an image that I liked, I turned it into a photo shoot by uploading it to Claude and asking it to write an image prompt for Nano Banana that would generate different images within the same photo shoot. I then added those prompts plus the initial image to Nano Banana in Higgsfield, and that's it. So with the visuals ready, the next step is the prompts, and I got some questions on how I create my prompts last time, so let me briefly walk you through how I write them. So it starts with an idea that I then sketch in Figma, and the point of the sketch is to have a reference image alongside my text prompt, so I try to keep it clean and simple because too much details can confuse the LLM. Then I word down everything that I see for each section, so the image placement, the fonts, the colors and so on. And because that's a lot, I use an AI voice transcriber called Paraspeech. This is similar to Whisperflow or Aqua Voice, for example. And then I dump it all in a Claude chat and I ask it to write a proper prompt for me. And what matters most is getting that first prompt right. If this prompt is unclear, then Claude may use the wrong library or the wrong stack, which may cause issues later on. Okay, now let's get into the actual prompts, starting with the foundation. I start by describing the purpose of the site and the overall architecture with the split screen layout. So this is a great example of what I talked about earlier. The first prompt isn't just for the first page to look good, it should lay the foundation for the whole website. And that's why I already mentioned that signature scroll animation here, even though it's not being used for the first section yet. Then I describe what I want the homepage to look like and how I want the vertical project scroll to behave. I end with a path that directs to the images in the project root folder and the design tokens like the fonts, the colors and the dividers. The first result came very close. The only things I adjusted were the alignment of the text on the left and the scroll, which was locked to a single project, but I wanted to be able to smoothly scroll to each project. I think it did that on purpose as I asked for each scroll to advance exactly 1 step. So I prompted it to make the 2 adjustments and it worked perfectly. Now that the foundation and the homepage are done, I moved on to the project pages. So I gave it a second reference image with a follow-up prompt to create the first project page. I mentioned that it should build on the same design principle with the split screen, and then I described the hover state of a project. It should darken the thumbnail, slightly zoom in and show a plus icon, and this is to clearly indicate that the project is clickable. So once clicked, the image should open and fill the right half of the site. And on the left a white block gets pushed downward and the text fades in one by one. So most of this worked instantly, but the one thing worth knowing is that Claude has a hard time with alignment. It can tell from your reference images which elements are meant to line up, or whether something is connected to some other element, or whether it should be left aligned or center aligned. And to me that's obvious in my own design, but Claude can't see which elements are connected. So I had to prompt for a small adjustment to line up the project description with the logo in the top left corner. But next time I would mention upfront how I want things to be aligned wherever I can. It's an easy habit to build into that first prompt, and it saves that going back and forth. From here on, the other project page designs are fairly simple. I do the same as before. I describe both pages, I add the reference images, and I ask for that same signature push transition. With the project pages finished, the next thing I tackled was the menu, and I wanted an open and close animation in a style that would match the rest of the website. So I asked for a menu that covers the right half of the website when it opens, and the menu slides in, and the menu button in the top right becomes a close button. And finally, I mentioned that all navigation items and the studio block should fade in one at a time, and this is what makes it feel very polished. And then for the final piece, the loading animation, and this one is definitely optional, but it adds that custom and luxurious feel to the website in my opinion. So I prompt for 2 images to push into view using the same motion as the rest of the site. One fills the left half and one fills the right half, and they enter from opposite vertical directions. And to keep things playful, I mentioned that the images should be picked randomly each time you enter the website, and that the left and the right images should never show the same project. I also wanted the logo to slowly expand to a much wider letter spacing, as if it breathes outwards, and this gives a more cinematic feel to the opening. And with that, the site was complete, a beautifully animated website fully built with AI. With a cinematic opening animation, a vertical project scroll with an aesthetic split screen design, and that signature push transition between pages. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more designs built with AI, then please subscribe to my channel. And as a thank you for your support, I added all the prompts and the actual website files as a free download in the description, so you can use these animations in your own website designs. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.